So before we get into the video, can I just say a massive and awesome thank you to everyone who's supported me on everything I have done on YouTube over the past few years. Today, we have hit 200,000 subscribers, and honestly, it really does feel amazing. It feels like not too long ago since we got 100k, and right in front of me now, I still have the silver play button that I got from that, and honestly, every time I look at that, every time I look at the reaction that I get from you guys on videos, whether it's through a like rating, just letting me know how you enjoyed the video, or just seeing, more people coming into the channel. Honestly, it really is amazing, and I am going to do something for 200k. I'll be working on it soon. I'm just not 100% sure on it just yet, but don't worry, I'll try and get something out for you guys within the next week. So anyway, let's get straight into the topic of this video. Now, Glitching Queen, I think one of the best zombies YouTubers out there. Everything she has found for me seems legit. Honestly, whenever I hear information from her, I know that she ain't being one of these bullshit YouTubers, right? She is honestly awesome, and she's taken her time and found out something I find really interesting in Shadows of Evil. So I don't want to take any credit away from her at all. In fact, if you want to see the colored version of this, totally go to her channel. I'm going to link it in the description. But this is something I definitely want to bring up, and I think could be meaning something for the future of zombies. So I've done a couple of videos on this before, but I've never noticed this. On the premise wall you can find within Shadows of Evil, when you highlight it, when you enhance the colours, there is more to this image than we can see. If you do enjoy the video at any time you want to drop me a like rating, it's just a quick and friendly reminder to you guys. That'd be awesome. Anyway, here we go. So this can be found within Shadows of Evil within Morgue City. This is the place where Nero and the crew were sent by the Shadow Man. They were sent here for the sins they have committed in the past. On a radio call we can hear within Shadows of Evil, a reporter that went here previously said strange things have been happening around Morgue City. He said he heard chanting coming from under the city. He said strange meteorites hit the city and flowers and plants started to grow out of nowhere, but the civilians, the people living in this area, never even questioned it. In fact, this reporter spoke to one of the fruit sellers and they told the reporter a story from his uncle. His uncle said for many years, the good and the evil have been fighting against one another here in Morgue City. Now in Shadows of Evil, when we get sent here by the Shadow Man, he tricks us into doing tasks for us because his ultimate goal is to get the hands on the summoning key. And eventually we are going to give it in, but halfway along the plan, we realise that the Shadow Man is actually bad. He's trying to trick us and doom us all. And so this eventually leads to us killing him, trapping his soul inside of the summoning key. And because of this, as we know by the ending, the keepers are about to give us the summoning key. They realise we will be better protectors of it than them, and that's before Richtofen comes out to the rift, steals it out of our hands, and the story then moves on to the giants. Now, whilst we are making these sacrifices involving the summoning key to the Shadow Man, this eventually leads us to opening up a crypt, an underground tomb, an underground temple in Morgue City. Using the 4 gate worms and the summoning key that we obtain, this allows us to open up a secret doorway, granting us access to an underground temple. And this temple is where the Apothicans have been lying for hundreds of thousands of years. Remember when the reporter said he could hear moaning and chanting coming from under the village, from under Morgue City? What he could hear was the Apothicans in this area under Morgue City, which is their, I guess you could call it their house of prayer, their place of worship, their underground temple that would go to the city area. But then below that there is a totally different environment. There are buildings and structures attached to the rocks that go far, far beneath the ground. In fact, they are that deep we don't know how far they go. We don't know what's at the bottom of there. Is that another route to Argotha, the centre of the earth? But this, interestingly, isn't the only thing we discover within here. In fact, if we look at the wall, once you put down a gateworm, bricks will start to fly up and place themselves on the wall to make a pattern, to make a story. And what this is a picture story of the great battle. This great fight between our 4 heroes and the Apothicans that took place many millenniums of years ago. And what we are seeing is a depiction of exactly what took place in that final battle when the Apothicans were defeated by Primus. Now, looking at it normally, it's very difficult to tell what's going on, but like I said, Glitching Queen has done an amazing job. She coloured it in, but once you colour everything in, brighten it up, change a few things, it is very clear to see what's going on. On the left, we have the good. On the right, we have the bad, the evil. These two forces fighting against one another. If we take a look on the right, which represents the bad, we first off have this massive tentacle flying creature that we see in the sky that spawns in Shadows of Evil. We have the Margwa, we have the parasites, and then we have the zombies, but they kind of look like a demonic version, like they are from hell. It's very interesting how Treyarch decided to draw them up here. Maybe this is actually telling us something different. Kind of like, even though they're not, the zombies and the Apothicans Apothicans are together. You know, they are one, they are both evil. That's what this could be representing. You can see they are standing on what looks to be maybe waves or clouds. And then if we go over to the left side, the good that is fighting the Apothicans, we first off have our four premise heroes, Takeo, Nikolai, Dempsey and Richtofen, and they are all wielding the original staffs. On their chest they have the Keeper logos. Because they were the first, they were the premise. Those were the characters that defeated the Apothicans and were rewarded with riches beyond their imaginations, with these powers of healing. So we have them, but fighting alongside Primus we also have some other keepers or other characters fighting with them as well. Now although they are only holding normal iron swords, they still have the Keeper logo on their chest, and that's interesting because as far as I knew it was only our four heroes that fought against these Apothicans. That was why they were worshipped by all of the civilians and, you know, people in the following villages. But looking at this image, it seems like other people were involved with fighting them as well, and they also have Keeper logos on their chest, but they aren't wielding a special weapon. They seem to be just normal people that have joined the Keeper race to fight against the Apothicans and to help out Primus. We have one of them riding a horse. There is one wearing a knight armor, which is all very interesting. In the background there, just like the original story, the Keepers are also fighting alongside the humans, alongside Primus to defeat the Apothicans. We know us and the Keepers are working together to keep them away, which is all very interesting, and we knew most of that. But what Glitching Queen pointed out, and this is the awesome part for me, is the fact that there is a pyramid in the back. On the far left, there is a small temple, a pyramid, and above it there are some triangular structures. Now those triangular structures look very much like the ones that are being used to excavate the 115 in Origins, and these are on top of a temple. Now everything, and I mean everything in this image means something, because this is all a depiction, this is all an exact picture of what happened. Everything in this image is 100% true. So you can't just say, oh, that might not mean nothing, because everything involved here is what was involved in the Great Battle many millenniums of years ago. So this pyramid isn't just nothing. In fact, this was involved in some way to defeat the Apothicans those many millenniums of years ago. But what exactly is this? Where have we seen this pyramid before? Or actually the question should be, have we ever seen it before? What does this mean? Why the hell is there a pyramid in this image? Now to me, if we compare it to real life, this reminded me straight away of one of the 7 wonders of the ancient worlds. A pyramid in, I believe it is Mexico. Off my head, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Although I don't think that's what it means. It could be what Treyarch based it off. But getting back to our zombie storyline, what the hell is this pyramid? And why do we have these excavation things on top of it? Then I also remembered an image we got before Black Ops 3 was even released, and this was it. I believe this was first tweeted out by Syndicate, and this is all we ever got. We never heard anything of it. Treyarch have never explained anything. It was extremely random, and as we know, Treyarch don't just randomly throw things in there, especially to do with the storyline. This is something they gave us and haven't yet explained, which for me could show that it might mean something in the future. And since we haven't heard anything about this pyramid in our zombie storyline so far, I also think this pyramid will be revealed or will be spoken about in some way within either DLC 3 or 4. Getting back to this image, you can see the pyramids look very, very similar. Below this pyramid, it says Ancient Astronauts. This pyramid was never explained. We don't know what it is, why it's here, why it's involved with zombies. We then go over to that new moon loading screen we had, and again in the background we have a pyramid floating in the back. We don't know if it's the same one. Then we go over to the Shangri-La loading screen. Again, we have temples and pyramids all over that map. In fact, we have ones that are being sucked in through a whirlwind and looks like they are going up to space, hence why we see the one in space in the moon loading screen. And we know if we cut an image out of the new moon loading screen and put it onto Shangri-La, we can see from this Samantha's shadow is forecast over the Shangri-La mountains, showing that she is in Shangri-La. Right now, her current location is known. She's not, or from what we know, she isn't in control of the zombies. Groff says in Der Eisendrache, Samantha isn't there. She is not in the MPD, yet she still seems to be the announcer in zombies. Even Richtofen doesn't know who really is in control. But that's not to do with this video. It's the fact that we have this very strange ancient pyramid for some reason in our Primus image. Was this the place where Primus went to get their powers? I mean, honestly, this is really interesting. If you said pyramids to me, I would think Egypt straight away, although it doesn't look like an Egyptian pyramid. We did have a leak back when Shadows of Evil was out saying that DLC 3, I believe it was in Cairo, Egypt. So could this be referring that in DLC 3 we will be going to see this pyramid over in Egypt? We also know buried took place near Egypt as well. So could we be seeing some reference, more information on what happened to our characters in Buried? That was the last map we ever saw them. From what we know, they actually died on Round Infinity in Buried, but it's possible if we did go to Egypt, since these two maps are close, we could be getting more information on our transit crew and what actually happened to them. We also know that's where the rift was located as well. The rift, which was a direct entry into Argotha. We know at the end of Buried, if you chose to do the Richtofen side, he would close the rift, thus dooming Samantha, meaning she would be trapped forever and Maxis would cease to exist. Or if you did the Maxis side of the Easter egg, you would eventually go to Samantha, gain all of the power from Argotha and the Aether's energy and destroy Richtofen. But like I said, none of that's relevant, but we do know the rift back in Black Ops 2 anyway, in Buried, was located near Egypt. So I mean, if we are going to Cairo, if we are going to Egypt, we could be getting some very interesting information about what took place in Black Ops 2, especially Buried, because there are so many unanswered secrets about that map. Anyway guys, hopefully you have enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this pyramid. Let me know what you think about the whole image. Again, GG to Glitch and Queen. She's actually done a really cool job on this. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to drop a like rating, and goodbye.